Who are you?
We are the Strypes. Well, I'm Evan Walsh, but we are the Strypes.
And Evan, could you please introduce the Strypes?
Yeah, well, I'll let them introduce themselves.
I'm Pete.
Ross.
And I'm Josh.
And together you are?
The Strypes.
Welcome to South by Southwest in Austin, Texas.
Thank you very much.
Right off the bat, I have a gift for you guys.
Unbelievable.
Something that I think is really important to the Strypes. What can you tell the people about this particular poster right here with Mr. Howlin'?
Wolf.
Oh, man.
Fantastic. Wow.
It's all of our influences, I suppose.
Yeah, maybe show the people, and you can tell the people, why is this type of poster important?
It's all our influences on one poster. We got Howlin' Wolf, we got John Lee Hooker, Jimmy Reed, Joe Turner, T-Bone. Just all of our influences.
Actually.
People should give a serious listen to it. Yes, yeah.
So if they come out to see you, are you doing any covers of any of those guys?
We've done a couple of covers of them. We used to do... Well, we've done quite a few Howlin' Wolf songs. We did Spoonful and Smokes Like Lightning a while back. Did a Jimmy Reed song called She Don't Want Me No More that we haven't done in months. But
We tried Boom Boom by Johnny Hooker.
Crack, I suppose.
didn't catch on like some of the others did. But
Amazing. Thank you very much.
And you guys are from Cavan.
Yeah, Cavan, yeah.
And there's like 15 bars in like one street in Cavan. What's Cavan like?
Yeah, it's pretty small rural town. That's exactly what it's like. You've just described it in 5 words. Yeah, it's a small rural town in Ireland. There's a lot of bars. And
The Blessings bar, like the Blessing.
Blessings Bar, McCullough's, the Black Horse.
McCullough's?
McCall. Sorry, I don't remember it.
Ramore Theatre.
the Rammer Theatre, that's in County Cavan. That's in a town called Virginia, which is not to be confused with the Virginia in this country. It's about half an hour outside of Cavan town.
What can you tell the people about this particular band right here, The Birds, with Ron Wood? Because I think you cover some of their tunes.
We did. Well, we don't cover one of their songs, but
Leaving Here.
Leaving Here is originally a Holland Dozier Holland Motown composition that they covered, and they also we also did a Bo Diddley song that they did as well called You Don't Love Me brackets You Don't Care.
There it is. There, yeah. Leaving Here. Yeah.
That's very good.
No, fantastic band.
This particular band is very interesting. A bit of background on The Birds. Ron Wood is in The Birds.
Yeah. Ron was in the Birds. Yeah.
Not the Birds that did Mr. Tambourine Man.
They're not the BY or the S, the American Birds. They're the English Birds.
You guys have had two feel-gooders on stage at the same time, Wilco and Sparko?
Yeah, down in Canvey Island.
Not just one, but two.
Yeah.
Half of the original band, the band that influenced us, like Dr. Feelgood are my favourite band and a huge influence on us, and their whole kind of balls out, hard driving sound is something that.
Hard to arrange, like basically a Dr. Feelgood reunion there.
No, it was easy. The whole point of the gig was we just put on a gig in Canvey just so they'd come along and kind of see it. That was the whole point. It was kind of just get them along. And they said if you fancy getting up, you can. And I said, oh, definitely, yeah. So I would have normally played bass, so Spark took the bass and I played harmonica we did Roxette, and she does it right. Bit shambolic, but fun all the same.
And I thought, in honor of you guys playing tribute to the good old Dr.
Feel good.
I would give you a Wilco 7-inch here, a solo 7-inch for Wilco.
Fantastic.
Because Wilco went solo, right, after the Feelgood.
Yeah, he left the band.
Stint and injury in the block.
What do you think of his solo work?
It's very good. It's very much on the same level as Dr. Feelgood is. It's the same kind of thing because he was their songwriter, it's same sort of thing, same no nonsense rhythm and blues stuff. So that's fantastic. Thanks very much.
Do you remember playing at the Gonzo Theatre at all in the early days?
A lot. Our first gig with Ross was in this place called the Gonzo Theatre.
That's a kind of it's an upstairs room in a pub in Cavan called the Imperial Bar, and upstairs they turned it into kind of an alternative theatre where they put local plays on and stuff like that. And it was the Gonzo Theatre, although it's no longer the Gonzo Theatre, and now Gonzo Theatre is a theatre group that puts plays on in Cavan Town Hall sometimes, among other places.
And at that time, you weren't really covering Leaving Here or doing any Birds sort of stuff. You were doing some Black Eyed Peas and Guns N' Roses stuff.
Pretty bad stuff. That's my bad.
That was before.
That was before Ross. Yeah.
That wasn't the.
Ross, you were there though, weren't you?
I kind of.
You jump up on stage and did like Jose Gonzalez.
Yeah, heartbeats. Yeah, man. It was my bad, just to confirm. Well, we did a couple of Ramon songs, that kind of stuff as well.
On the whole, we utterly despise the three bands that you just mentioned there. Absolutely, utterly despise them.
It was a lapse in judgment, I suppose.
And I guess I was wondering about Irish rock. Are you guys down with the Wheels at all? Do you know the band The Wheels?
No.
They did a song called Bad Little Woman that was later covered by the Shadows of Nights in the States. This is a great song, Bad Little Woman.
Yeah.
And I thought it would be a great song for you guys to cover, so I have a gift for you right here. Some Wheels from Ireland right there.
It's class. There's some dodgy haircuts, but very Jimmy Savile-esque haircut there. It's not nice, man.
And the whole story is on the back there, so you can check out about the Wheels.
Look at him. He's like a
Fu Manchu.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah. Thanks so much. We're gonna check them out.
Now they're from Belfast. What's the relationship between Cavan and Belfast? The Belfast scene. Is it bad for me to say, "Hey, this is a Belfast"? Is there any rivalry or anything like that?
None of that at all. It's just Ireland.
Most of the Irish bands that we love are from Northern Ireland, like the Undertones and Stiff Little Fingers and
Yeah, and there's a lot of Irish bands like Thin Lizzy now we're fans of and that sort of stuff.
Like that whole thing existed back in the day, but not now. Yeah, it's all good now.
But you're into Rosalind by The Pretty Things.
That's a very good song, yeah.
They are one of the wildest bands ever, The Pretty Things. But they also, when they toured, they went nuts. They went absolute crazy. They were banned for life for playing in New Zealand.
I read about that, yeah. I read about that before, yeah.
And I thought, you know what? You guys got to learn more about The Pretty Things.
Okay.
And their tour of New Zealand. And I have right here for you, Ugly Things magazine put out an entire book on The Pretty Things in
New Zealand.
New Zealand. So you can go through there and see how they set fire to an airplane on tour.
Okay.
I'm not saying that you guys should do that, but this is an amazing documentation Ugly Things fanzine did. This is all about one tour in 1965.
That's incredible, man. Thanks so much.
And Evan, your dad was in the Firefly.
Yes, he was, yeah.
Is he here today?
He is. He's over there in the corner.
We can bring him over. Mr. Firefly, can you come over here for a second? Please explain about your dad.
Yeah, my dad is Niall Walsh. He's aged. No, he was in a band called the Fireflies in the 80s. Guitar band, kind of power poppy in a good way.
And now you're the manager of the Strypes.
Sort of, yeah. Ligger, chief ligger.
Fireflies, you guys wore suits too.
Yeah. It was going cheap in cabin suits, so we that's what we wear.
The Strypes wearing any of your suits?
No, they wear my bolo tie. Yeah, which isn't gone missing, I hope.
Oh, that's cool. So they were actually on stage with the Fireflies. So there's a bit of transition.
Yeah, a bit of history there. Yeah. That's the only way I can get on stage these days is send my clothing. That's the only way I'm allowed on stage.
You guys had some good gigs, didn't you? Like you played with the Tom Tom Club.
Yeah, we played. God, your researcher's brilliant. Yeah, we supported the Tom Tom Club in Dublin once. Yeah, Chris and Tina. That was probably the height of of our careers.
The RTE guide as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah, we were legends really. I'm being very modest. We're probably the greatest Irish band ever. I think. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Firefly.
Thank you so much.
And doot-doodaloot-doo.
To you too.
Yeah, that works, yeah. You joined the Strypes when you were 12, right?
no, I just turned 13 at the time.
I still want to say 12, though.
Yeah, I was 12. Yeah.
Were you
He didn't know he was in, but we said he was in when he was 12.
because I love that 12. That is pretty young, isn't it?
Yeah, at the time, yeah, it was. Yeah.
How hard is it to get into bars when you're 12 or 13? And because you were saying there's a lot of pubs, was it mainly you just playing halls? Or, I mean, did they allow you to play?
When we were that age, we did feck all gigs. To be honest, we didn't do many. It wasn't until maybe a year and a half later when Ross was 13 that we started.
It was
playing
more
gigs.
acceptable then when he was 13 to do gigs.
You guys love the blues, don't you?
Love it.
And I was thinking, I gotta give you some more blues to discover, and I have a gift here for you, Strypes. It's copulating blues right in here.
Oh, fantastic!
From 1931 to 1957.
And gratuitous, I suppose.
And if you look at the titles on the back, there's songs like "I'll Keep Sitting on It."
Yeah, keeps it. New rubbing on the darn old thing. Don't you make me high? That's great. You stole my cherry. Get off of me. My daddy rocks
Shave
me.
him dry.
My daddy rocks me with one steady
Barbecue
roll.
Bess.
Stave and Chain is on there twice.
1937 action.
Yeah, full on.
That's when the blues started, going way back.
Yeah, this was it. This was the shit back in the day. Yeah.
Going way back, Evan, do you remember doing a video for I Predict a Riot?
Yeah, that was actually that's really private. I don't know why. No, but I know anyway. That was the thing when we were young. We always made films when we were young. So and myself and Josh hung out an awful lot when we were children. So myself and we still do.
It's there on YouTube. Quote, Josh, Dylan, and Becky, Cavan Island video from 2007.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we did it in the back garden. Yeah, we just were like, we always made little films.
Ross, you guys are into Dave Edmonds, aren't you?
Yes, hugely.
Why is that? Why are you into the Dave Edmonds, you think?
Because he's amazing.
Yeah.
And he goes back too, doesn't he?
Yeah, he goes back to when he was born. Yeah.
Actually, before that, 68 to 72. And I have a gift for you guys here. Some Dave Edmonds rocker.
Yeah. That's incredible. Yeah. Cheers, man.
If you open it up there, there's quite a bit of information there on the Dave Edmonds. For people that don't know, can you give a bit of background on Dave Edmonds and why he's important to the Strypes and in rock and roll in general? The genius that he is.
Yeah, he's a Welsh rock and roll musician who was in a band called Love Sculpture at the beginning. They had a kind of a pseudo novelty hit with a guitar arrangement of the classical piece Sabre Dance, and then later on had a solo career where he had a big number one. He had the Christmas number one in 1970 with I Hear You Knocking, and had a couple of other big hits as well. I Knew the Bride, Crawling from the Wreckage, From Small Things Big Things Come, and he was in a band called Rockpile with Nick Lowe, who are a big influence on us, and we do a Rockpile song, Heart of the City, which Nick actually sings on
all the instruments on his album Subtle as a Flying Mallet, doesn't he?
recorded every instrument on his first two solo albums. He played every instrument on every track.
That's an amazing summation there, Evan.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
It's on the back of his hand.
Yeah, it's there. Yeah. He was... Oh, it's faded. Sorry. Can't read it.
Duvet man.
You are the Strypes
Yes, we are.
from Cavan.
Cavan.
Heard of Cavan Cola at all?
Yeah, there you go.
We actually, Cavan Cola was the Cavan fizzy drink that was discontinued in the late 90s, early 2000s, much to everyone's annoyance because it
destroyed 1,000 teeth.
Yeah. Everyone's teeth fell out in Cavan due to it. But we actually got a T-shirt made for the Cavan gigs that can probably still be bought with a string of Andy Warhol style Cavan Cola, made by Jane McCormick, who is the mother of Finn Keenan, who makes our videos. Saying the Strypes live in Cavan, but now the Cavan gigs are over. It's the Strypes live in Cavan.
Yeah, there's 16 bottles of Cavan Cola in Cavan somewhere, and nobody knows where they are. But they're unopened, probably classical vintage now. But
Maybe that, like, since you made a T-shirt with it, maybe be able to taste the Cavan Cola.
Nah, I mean,
T-shirt, you might get a hint of Cavan Cola.
Boom!
Shouldn't believe, yeah.
I think it's awesome. You're keeping the spirit alive.
yeah, well, the spirit of Cavan Cola needs to be kept alive as much as possible.
You guys share something in common with One Direction.
do we?
What is it?
Can you guess?
One of them's Irish.
Nothing else.
We both hate One Direction.
Do tell.
You both cover Teenage
Kicks.
They cover Teenage Kicks, One Direction.
Well, that also means we have a lot in common with every band ever, because every band since the Undertones has covered Teenage Kicks.
In honor of you sharing something in common with One Direction, I thought I would lastly give you a later issue Undertones 7-inch to Julie Ocean.
Oh, that's from the Positive Touch album, which is the third album.
A bit later on, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's still a great song.
What do you think of the Undertones later versions?
It's not as good as the first two albums are really very, very good indeed, and there'd be no one would admit it quicker than them that the next two aren't as good.
Have you seen any later incarnations of the Undertones? Like, they're still playing around without fear of...
The lead singer now, Paul McClune, is a big Irish radio host, and
And he was one of the first people to actually properly play us. When we put the EP out, he was the first one of the first DJs to support him. Him and another DJ called Tony Fenton really played it to death and supported us. And we did
sporting a blue quiff.
Yeah, for the Shave or Die campaign, but which is a charity thing. I don't know enough about it, but he was one of the first DJs to properly play us, and he was Fergal Sharkey's replacement in the Undertones. We've done a couple of sessions for him. Phenomenally nice chap.
Strypes, anything else you want to add to the people out there at all?
Love your song, Addicted to Cheese. I can agree with the sentiment that cheddar does make me feel better.
You know what? I got a disease. I'm addicted to
Cheese. I'm glad.
We love the interviews. We were looking at them all the other day, and they're all incredibly, fantastically awkward, which we love.
Love to do another one, another day.
Yeah, and a big shout out to everybody watching, and buy our album, which is coming out soon. That's a shameless plug, but buy our album.
Why should people care about the Strypes? Why should people care about the Strypes?
Really good question.
I don't know, why should people care about anything? Really, that's what I spend most of my waking hours thinking of.
Why do I care?
What is the point? Why are we all here? Why?
Let's all have a big communal.
He's an optimist, yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Strypes. Keep on rocking in the free world and do.
Do.
This is yeah.
Oh shit, doesn't come off. Doesn't come off. Is that? We do that again.
Are we doing freeze frame here, or are we just gonna go?
I'm just gonna hold it until one of us breaks.